Hey guys, this video is a compilation of a bunch of Zelda footage I played with a friend the other day, so I hope you enjoy. It's kind of a best of. We did some things out of order, um, just doing weird things in the game. He's talking about some interesting aspects of the game, and that's it, so I hope you enjoy.
Interestingly enough, there's only one monster in the game that can hit you while you're standing in a doorway, and it's those goddamn blue wizards. They don't give a shit about any of the rest of the conventions of the game. They just sail right into that doorway and beat the hell out of Link. Fucking blue. This guy gives you... I always wonder, like, growing up, like, the game gives you the option of getting medicine, which is good for a little while, or a heart, which is permanent. And I could never figure out, like, why is that... Like, who would take the medicine? Maybe I'll play through the game one time and I'll just take all the medicine just because fuck it. No one else probably ever has in the history of this game.
So,
except people that just flat out didn't know any better.
So does the medicine, is that just to heal you?
Yeah, technically the game calls it red and blue potion. I just call it medicine. And I guess when you have the red potion, it's like your doctor gave you a refill on your prescription, so you can use it twice. And otherwise, it's just a regular run-of-the-mill prescription.
You really thought of a lot about this one potion.
I play the hell out of this game. It doesn't always look like it because I'm sloppy as hell, but I usually get the job done. That too. Another interesting thing about this game that's different from future Zeldas, and I believe even as early as Zelda 2, but when Link has full life and he gets the laser sword, this is the only game I know of, excluding maybe Zelda 2 because I haven't tested it to make sure, but it's the only game where the laser sword has the full strength of the actual sword. In Zelda 3, if you have you can have level 4 Master Sword, level it up all the way, and it will only do the 2 damage I believe it does when you hit him with the laser. So, rock on for this game having what I consider the proper laser sword. And one of the neat things that our kids will never get, because I just have the bombs, is life back before the internet, to where you would hear a friend say something bizarre like, "My uncle jumped the flagpole in Super Mario," and you'd be like, "Nuh-uh," and you could never like go verify it or anything. You either had to take your friend at his or her word, or it just stayed a mystery. Now we've got the internet and all kinds of crap.
One of my favorites, I don't know if you ever read EGM.
Electronic Gaming Monthly?
Yeah.
I did for a long time until they went out of... Actually, I stopped in the mid-2000s and I just got tired of gaming journalism in general.
Well, back when Melee came out was like, what, 2001, something like that. So, I mean, people did have internet, but most people didn't. Or at least...
Are you talking about the Hand? Playing as the Hand?
No.
Oh.
EGM did a prank where you could get Sonic
as
a character. And I tried so hard. I think you had to beat those polygons on like the hardest difficulty with like 1 life, and there were like 20 of them. God, I tried so many times to get that, and then the next issue came in next month, and they were like, I gotcha. That's something that you would have just been like instantly, just go look it up on YouTube.
I figure what happened and why I've got such a fascination with this game is because my parents used to have an big fancy entertainment center, and it had like the TV was in the middle of it, and then right beneath it was like a little shelving unit where we had the NES, and then underneath that my parents decided to put a fish tank. And my parents didn't want me to play NES one time because I probably dicked around in school too much or something, so they grounded me, took away the NES, and disconnected it so that I couldn't cheese it. Well, I said screw that, so I just went to reconnect it, and when I did this, Zelda happened to be sitting on top of the NES, and Zelda fell into the fish tank and it fried the battery. So I was never able to save the game after that for years, and I would always play the game as much as I could, and I would always get to about level 5, and that was like the end of it. And I didn't understand the second quest back then. I knew how to get to it with the Zelda code, but I didn't understand it enough, so large portions of the game just stayed permanently unlocked to me because I could never sit down in one play and play for 25 hours straight.
And the NES was unreliable to stay on that long.
Yeah, that too. But what was less reliable, well, actually it was very reliable, was that my parents would tell me to get the fuck off the machine so they could watch Jeopardy or something. Alright, but what I was trying to say before earlier is that, like, when you have an enemy that breaks into smaller enemies, you'll never get anything out of them because for some reason the bats and the little gel guys never actually drop anything. But if you get either the white sword for the big blobs or the magic sword for the giant bats, then when you kill them in one hit rather than having them break apart, then you get stuff out of them. I don't understand why the game is like that, but it just is, so...
Rewards you for having the right thing?
Oh, I don't know. I think it probably has to do with the fact that the game tells it to instantly die, and then when something instantly dies that isn't a little bat or a little blob, you're supposed to get something. Playing these maps from memory. It'd be a real hassle if you couldn't see the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Luckily, in the first quest, if you get hit by one of these bubbles, you lose your sword for a little while. In the second quest, they up the ante because they introduce bubbles that are always red and bubbles that are always blue. And if you get hit by a red bubble, your sword is gone forever until you either touch a blue bubble or you use a potion or see a fairy. So basically you either have to get fully restored somehow, or touch a blue bubble. I guess it's kind of like a curse status.
Sounds like ass.
Well, you just don't get hit by them. Or if you do, you just make do without your sword.
Oh yeah, just make do without
Boom! Well, obviously that's a huge hassle in the modern Zeldas, but in this old one, you can get by without it.
Yes, so you got the candles and such.
Yeah, you got candles, and later on in the game when you get the wand, it effectively functions like the white sword, and it delivers 2 points of damage. Alright, got 2 likes, and I don't have to worry about losing my magic shield, which is a cool thing in older Zeldas. In the modern Zeldas, it's not as convenient to get rid of a shield. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, you have to just, I guess, intentionally not use the shield. But then there's sequences in the game where you're forced to use the shield. So I guess once again, because they've programmed those sequences and went through all that hassle, they'll be fucked if you're not going to use it. Oh, and then the way this game is great because it doesn't tell you that you have to push the brick. You just have to know. And you can't push the brick until you've beaten all the bad guys. Ow.
That is great.
Oh, it's great.
Something.
It sure makes you feel like a king when you finally figure it out. Or at least it would make a little kid feel like a king, I suppose.
In the Mega Man games, I just kind of thought of it as like slow motion. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh, in older games it was great because when the action got crazy, the game slowed down so you could figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Modern games, we don't get so much of that. When the action gets crazy, Dante just gets kicked in the head.
And people are upset if it shows.
Yeah, like, oh, why can't they optimize this game better? Ah. Alright, let's do what I did last time, even though it won't be quite as difficult now. I don't know if Chris here will include that edit.
Nope, that's gone.
Oh, no wood sword edit getting through the third dungeon.
Well, I think actually it's still over there. So.
Alright. Damn it. Oh, come on. Jesus! Fuck.
Got things close in here.
It's not my fault. I don't want him to go these directions. I'm telling you. I'm playing with like a handicap here. And I don't even know why. I should just cheese it with the laser swords. I'm actually fighting him. I'm fighting these bad guys honorably when I've got laser swords still.
Yeah.
I'm such a dunce. I don't know. I
think
forgot.
you're just used to not having it.
So yeah, I almost never have laser. Why is it? I mean, I'm glad the game's giving me so many bombs. So let's use it a whole bunch.
God, this room's like a nightmare.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, when we first walked in, though.
It's like, oh yeah, that's what I was planning on it. I get the feeling I could kill all these guys and they're not going to give me any hearts back. No, more bombs. What? I think the center of the bomb blast delivers the same damage as the magic sword, which would be 4 hit points. And the periphery delivers, I believe, a magic sword swipe, which is 2. Or not a magic, but a white sword swipe, which is 2. The Red Knights have 3 hit points each, whereas I believe... Yep, I did it. What did I tell you, Chris? Kill them all. Didn't get a single damn heart out of it.
Well, this is Zelda 2S right here.
No, Zelda 2 is a real ball buster. Like, I don't understand how Nintendo unleashed that on the public, and then maybe because they hadn't firmly established themselves as as like a younger gamer demographic company, so they had no problem releasing a game that was that freaking hard and that freaking hard to figure out.
So you think Zelda 2 is harder than Zelda 1?
Zelda 2 is one of the hardest, especially if you want to try to like not just limp your way through it and use a guide and everything. It's one of the hardest damn games I've ever played. Especially when like you go to Death Mountain and the game expects you to go to Death Mountain to find the hammer in Zelda 2 way earlier than you're actually prepared for the monsters. So unless you spend a lot of time grinding Link's levels, there's a good chance you're just not going to make it. And even if you had, give me a fairy, give me a fairy. Why did I pick those bombs up? Anyway, let's try to go get Link some health. But at any rate, Zelda 2 gives you tasks that Link is just woefully unprepared for when he first gets them. And that's not even like sequence breaking. That's playing the game the way it's meant to be played. So you go, yeah, you go to Death Mountain and there's these bad guys that have axes, and in Zelda 2, for whatever reason, you can't block axes with your shield. Oh, thank you, game. Ace.
You have to clear all those rooms again?
Yeah, but most of them are just shit rooms, and I gotta go kill the boss now.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, these guys? No, whatever. Oh, look at all the life the game's giving me now. Get fucked, game.
He's giving me money.
Yes. Oh, these.
You got something out of every one of those guys except for that last guy.
What's interesting is that with the, I believe they're called Galites. I'm not.
You talking about these glob things?
Yeah, but basically, when you've got the little ones, they never. You look at all this fucking health.
You had 2 fairies for it.
Yeah, here's 45 hearts for you now that you're full. This game's kind of a dick like that. I think they got it programmed so that if you have low life, it does a check.
Yeah.
And it's like he only has 10% health left. Let's just give him like $1 when he desperate. Yeah.
I feel like Super Metroid's one of the perfect games that'll give you what you need when you need it.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll get your missiles if you have no missiles or super missiles, health.
Metroid 3 also had a very good. I can't remember if I can just waltz into the. Yeah, like look at this. This is a great example where I just had a bomb and I can go straight to the boss room. I can bypass all this other crap. You think you get that and like you don't get that in like a Majora's Mask. You got to play through the whole damn dungeon every time.
That is pretty cool.
And look at this! Oh, yes! Ah, look at that! Perfect bomb placement. The game gave me another bomb. Gave me more bombs and shit too. All right, so that's sequence breaking right there. Didn't finish the first level. Didn't finish the third or the second one. Straight on to the third level, which is a manjai, not a swastika. And then you can go back out.
What are you talking about? Manjai?
Oh,
swastika?
oh, you don't know that? Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the...
Yeah, like look at the level layout on the upper left of the map. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, Nintendo's Hitler or something dumb. And it's like, no, it's a totally different symbol. They just swiped it and made it their own.